this is a really quick video around inner child work. This is a practice or a concept, I guess, that I created this myself in my own head. I just find it really powerful, so I thought I'd share it with you. We all have this little child inside of us with unmet needs and trauma and all the wounds from our past. And when we want to try and work on healing our inner child, we need to reconnect with them. We need to kind of feel back into that inner child. And something that I find really powerful is when I'm just going about my day and say I say something a bit harsh to myself, like I forget my car keys and I say like, oh, you're such an idiot in my head. I try to instantly visualize that the little version of me, so like little Holly, 5-year-old Holly is sat there looking at me. And when I say that thing in my head, I visualize that I'm saying that to her. So I almost see myself talking to my inner child and saying the things that I'm saying to myself in my own head. Because in theory, that is what we're doing, because we are still, that little child is still within us. We are still that person. Maybe I've planned a day to like go to the beach and do something nice for myself. And then something comes up and I'm like, oh, I'll just cancel it. Like, who cares? It's just me. I'll visualize like the little inner child me and letting her down and her little sad face when I've like disappointed her. And I find it's quite emotional, but it really makes you question the way that you're treating yourself. And then you can try to start to reparent yourself. So if I'm going to treat her, like that part of me, that inner child that's within me, the way that I believe she should have been treated, it's about becoming the parent that you never had. So the parent that unconditionally accepts you. So then when I feel into saying something that I know is not loving, trying to like almost force in, if I was like that little girl, like what does she need to hear? Usually just that it's okay, or you're acceptable however you're showing up today, but trying to really feel into like the reparenting of that inner child. And sometimes I almost like see her with me. Like sometimes if I'm going for a walk, I imagine that I'm like walking with her, and it just brings this really nice, it's a lot easier to empathize with our inner child. Sometimes we can be really tough on ourselves and be like, oh, I should be better, I should be stronger. But when we see that little innocent 5-year-old version of ourselves, I think it's actually easier to be quite warm towards that aspect of who we are. And most of the stuff we have is from that place. The fear of being rejected or abandoned or not loved, like they're the traumas that were created very early in our life. And it is the inner child in us that has those wounds. So I find it a really powerful process. Hope that's helpful.